Ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome to the ceremony. We'll start in just a moment. Please silence all your cell phones and any drive-bys, flyovers. We will be broadcasting our ceremony live. This is officially the town hall as well, so you may be on YouTube today and forever. So smile. And when we transition inside, the live stream will continue in the back in our training room. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate the ribbon cutting ceremony of the new Helping Agency building. My name is William Brown, and I am the Community Support Coordinator, and it's my honor to be your Master of Ceremonies today for this event. The presiding official for today's ceremony is Brigadier General Matthew Higer, Commander, 4th 12th Test Wing. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party, playing of the national anthem, and invocation by Chaplain Brown.
Please take a moment of silence for your tuition as I pray in mine. Almighty God, you took great delight in calling forth this world out of nothing and making it a place of order, form, and beauty. In forming us after your own image, you have instilled within us a desire to be creative as well. Today we are assembled to dedicate this new consolidated helping agency facility to the cause of peace. We thank you for its completion and pray that those who were so diligent in building it will know the gratitude of those who will work within its walls. Lord, this building houses the professionals who have dedicated their lives to caring for those who defend freedom around the world. Bless them in their holy work. Our most fervent prayer is that whichever door a troubled member of Team Takatatu enters, it is never the wrong door. That every airman, guardian, family member, or civilian is greeted with compassion and understanding and is enveloped in the loving embrace of our caregivers. We hope their services are never needed, but we know they will be. Give these professionals the wisdom and discernment to meet troubled individuals where they are and provide the personalized care to everyone who enters this facility. Finally, Lord, grant these dedicated caregivers resiliency and strength, the strength to bear the burdens of others each day and willingness to come back and do it again the next. When all enter this facility, whether to seek care or provide it, know that you are always present and go alongside care seeker and caregiver alike. And this knowledge serve always to remind us that our duty is to achieve excellence and our call is to be found vigilant and faithful in our walk with you. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Brown. You may be seated. We are honored to have many distinguished guests with us today. Please help and welcome our presiding official, Brigadier General Matthew Higer. We also welcome our distinguished guests from the 412th Test Wing, Colonel Matthew Caspers, Vice Commander. Chief Master Sergeant Denisha Ward-Swanigan, Command Chief Master Sergeant. We'd also like to welcome all commanders, directors, chiefs, first sergeants, friends, and colleagues in attendance today. And at this time, we'd like to invite Brigadier General Higer to say a few words. Sir?
Thank you, William. It was really good to be here today for a bunch of reasons. I was a little bit nervous about this ceremony yesterday, 24 hours ago, if you remember what was happening at Edwards. Yes, occasionally water does fall from the sky here at the Center of the Aerospace Testing Universe, but the other 360 days a year are fantastic, which is one of the reasons why we're here, right? Another reason I'm excited about this ceremony today is to see the faces, and later in this broadcast, for those of you that are watching online or that watching the recording, we're actually going to go down agency by agency. You're going to get to meet these people virtually by name and talk. They're going to talk a little bit about what they do to you. Not that you necessarily will need them, but you guaranteed know somebody that is going to need to meet somebody or work with somebody in this building. You may not know who that is yet, like many of us don't know, but I guarantee, like me, all of you have somebody that you work with or that you know or you may reside with that needs to talk to somebody in this building at some point in the next few years. So you get a chance to meet those folks when we reconvene from the broadcast after the official ribbon cutting ceremony. Another reason I'm excited to be here today is that this is a culmination of an effort. Some would even call it a saga. This building has had many lives and been many things here at Takatatu, but it is currently in its, I think, best form. That best form is I don't know what the name of the place is or the name of the person is, but I know if I go there, I'll get the help that I need. And that's the important part about this building and the capability that now resides in it. And it's only about 2/3 complete. We ran out of money, and so we put a division in there. So it has, if you will, an unfinished basement. We now have the funding to finish the basement off. So what is the folks that reside here, what is currently their storage, the place where they keep their billiards and all their Christmas decorations, will be more expansive offices that can be used on a daily basis, not just on nights, weekends, and holidays. So it was a journey to get here. I'm glad that we're here. I'm super excited that it's operational. But it is also leading. It's leading edge. It's first of kind. It is another Edwards first. Now, officially, Air Force Materiel Command has another base as their beta test for a consolidated no wrong door helping agencies place. But that base and that location is not as well situated as this is because it's in amongst a whole bunch of other things. And so I think we are actually in the lead and on the vanguard here at Edwards, because when you look at where we are and where this building is situated, if you're here, there's nothing else directly around, and that in and of itself is going to be a comfort to many of the people that need what's available inside these walls. Whether it's their first time walking in or their second or third or more, that is a huge asset and a huge attribute that we have that no one else in our Air Force has, and it is up to us to operationalize that and make sure everyone knows where it is. In addition to that, it's walking distance from the dorms. It is literally across the street from Chapel 1 on main base, plenty of parking, and it's truly situated and ready for use. My charge to the members that work here is this: you are part of the phrase, mission first, people always, and you're the always part. And remember that. Also remember that as we strive in doing what you do and what your mission set is, our collective goal in all of your mission areas should be to put you out of business. The day that there's not a demand signal on equal opportunity, and a demand signal on EAP, and a demand signal on SAPR, and a demand signal on violence prevention, that's a great day. And is it achievable? Maybe, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't strive for it and that you don't strive for it. And so that is always my fondest wish for those of you that work in these walls every day and help folks every day. I'm blessed and pleased to support you. I'm super thrilled to be here. And I think JD brought the right tool for the trade. So I think we're prepared. William, anything else? All right. Thanks for being here. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, General Higer, for your comments and your support throughout the years. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to transition to the ribbon cutting portion of the ceremony. Along with Brigadier General Higer, we invite Colonel Caspers, Chief Ward-Swanigan, Mr. James Judkins, Mr. Cesar Estrada, Miss Vanessa Brown, Mr. James Daly, Miss Carolyn Graves, and Dr. Kathleen McVeigh to join us for the ribbon cutting behind us. So if you will join us at the ribbon, we would appreciate it. And once they pass through, you can leave your seats and kind of gather around. You don't have to remain in place. Again, this is a mobile event. Sure. Should I be? And we'll smile for the camera before we cut.
Yep, perfect.
Are we in the right location?
Everybody, make sure you can see me. If you can't see me, I can't see you.
Come on, Dr. McVeigh. Come on, there's more room. Come on.
Squeeze in, huddle. Yeah, there you go, perfect. On the count of 3, 1, 2, and 3. Perfect, you guys.
Okay, now.
And cut the ribbon.
Okay, everybody.
Everybody again.
We're going to get your hand. Ready?
Yep, go for it.
Well done. All right, it's officially open for business, but it's been open for business for a little while. For everybody that has the honor to be here and for today for this ceremony, what I'd like to do is find the most junior person in uniform amongst us. So quickly, everybody, check ranks. Who is that? Come on, I saw a couple. It's not me. Come on, who is it? Marino. Is it Marino? Okay. Can anybody beat Staff Sergeant? Okay, we got it. So come on, Sergeant Marino. All right. And now, how about the most junior officer present? Yeah, come on. Come on. I knew there was a single bar around. All right. Awesome. And unfortunately it's not on your uniforms, but can we get one Air Force civil servant volunteer? I can volunteer you too. Anyone? Air Force civil servant. Come. All right, yeah, a great volunteer. Beautiful. All right. These are representatives of Big A Airmen. And there are dependents and family members and contractors and all kinds of folks that are here with us. But this building is for our Big A Airmen. And so you three get to be the first three to officially walk through that door right now. And it's going to be recorded and hanging on YouTube forever. So don't trip. All right, after you. And then everybody else too. Yay!
This begins our open house portion, so you're welcome to peruse the building and avail yourself to whatever isn't tied down. And mask inside, please. And town hall individuals, please follow, go behind the flags. We'll see you in a moment. Thank you all for coming.
right, and I'll hold it up. Can you hear?
Yeah,
Sound check.
and we're not gonna, and we don't have a screen, right? So.
So we're not gonna do the text questions and thing. Is that what I'm hearing?
I'll let you. All right, happy Friday, everybody, and happy 2023. Happy New Year. Brigadier General Matt Higer here, broadcasting to you live from the Center of the Aerospace Testing Universe. As I am almost always, today I'm joined by our wonderful Command Chief Master Sergeant D. Ward-Swanigan. D, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, sir.
Welcome back. I'm glad
Thank
you
you.
got through the chaos that was the air travel system over the holidays to make it back on time with minimal delay and disruption. So
That's right.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
My family was not so lucky, but they made it, which is great. So a couple things that are big today, other than it is a new calendar year, and I have not yet written the wrong year on anything, but I'm sure it's going to happen sometime this week. One of the big things that happens is that we moved our time slot. So if you are joining us for the first time here and you knew about the change to 3 o'clock on every duty day Friday, good on you. We made the announcement at our last broadcast last year. This will be the new and enduring time slot, 3 o'clock Pacific time every duty day Friday. So that's what's new also. So new year, new time slot, but also very apropos for this broadcast, we are actually broadcasting to you live from what's called the No Wrong Door building or the Helping Agencies building. Some of you know it by the building number, which I believe is 2670. The important part is that you know how to get here and where it is. If you're on main base and you know where the chapel is on main base, you walk out the front door of the chapel from the sanctuary and you keep walking. Carefully look right and left across the street, and then you're in the parking lot for the Helping Agencies building, and that's where we are broadcasting from today. It was recently renovated. The renovation took longer than we had hoped, but it delivered a great facility, and now we have co-located as many of the helping agencies as we possibly can in one location. And the intent here is that if you don't know which helping agency you want to talk to, just walk in the building and ask anybody, and they'll be able to direct you in the right place. There's plenty of parking. It's relatively isolated, so if you don't want to, you want to keep it relatively discreet, you can do that here as well. And so what we're going to do here for the next portion of the broadcast is we're going to rotate the helping agencies folks through, let them introduce themselves, a little bit about where they are and what they do, and then we'll go through that. And with the balance of the town hall, we'll answer any questions you might have, and we are certainly ending on time for the first broadcast of the year. So as our lead-off hitter, we have Chaplain Mike Brom. He's our head chaplain, and I'll let him talk a little bit about it. Now, full disclosure, the chaplains don't have an office in the building, but like I said, they're literally just a stone's throw across the street, or maybe a 9-iron if golf is your thing. So, Mike, welcome, and
Thank
happy
you, sir.
Friday, happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy to be here. Just briefly, we are not in the building. We have a chapel across the street, so if you need something and you're in the parking lot, you'll probably get somebody, be it, across the street or over the phone. Briefly, I don't know how much time I have, but let a chaplain go first. We're going to be long-winded. We're preachers. 3 things. What do we do? Main thing we do is spiritual fitness. Whether you're a person of faith or you're spiritual but not traditionally religious, or you're an atheist, or you're anything in between, we are here for you, and we're here to make sure that you are spiritually fit to do your job, and that includes you and your dependents and civilians and contractors to some extent. So if you have a religious need, let's say you're looking for a beard waiver because you're I'm looking at the wrong camera. You're a person of faith, and your faith says you should have a beard. We can help you with that. It is not our decision; it's a commander's decision. But we can help you with the paperwork process. If you're a Catholic airman and you want to be excused from duty for Mass on Ash Wednesday, you're a Muslim airman and it's Ramadan and you want to be excused from PT, that kind of thing, what we call religious accommodation, that's one of the main things we do. It's the reason we exist, actually, is to provide for the free exercise of religion for every airman, guardian, and dependent. The second most important thing, or most known thing we do, is confidential counseling. Literally anything you tell a chapel staff member, be it a chaplain, a religious affairs airman, one of our civilians, totally confidential. There is no duty to warn for a chaplain. So if you tell us that I use example, sir, if you tell me that you planted a bomb in the wing commander's office, I may call you, sir, and say, hey, you need to go and leave right now. But I can't tell you why. So if you have done something or are thinking about doing something, or just need someone to talk to and you're not sure who to talk to, come to us first. We can help you with your issues, or we can point you in the right direction to someone else who can. And then thirdly, what I call spiritual resiliency, not traditional religious programming, but unit engagement. We'll do a resiliency talk, a marriage program in your unit, a suicide prevention program, those kinds of things that generally increase the spiritual resiliency of the unit. Those are the 3 main things that we do. I know there's a whole long line. So I'm not
and Mike, you're right. So we teed you up, mindful of your religious restrictions today, and I know you got to beat feet because it's Friday before sunset.
Yes, sir.
And that's an important thing, very important thing for you. But it's a big testament that we can still structure and get our mission done and still comply with the tenets of almost everyone's faith most of the time.
Yes, sir. Just about.
And that's a big thing that a lot of people don't realize, that any chaplain can help you no matter what your denomination is, religious or not. And that's a big part. And
we care about your faith. It doesn't matter. In that I will help a Muslim airman. We have 3 Protestant chaplains and a Catholic priest, and whatever faith you are, or like I said, even if you're an atheist, we will absolutely help you out.
Yep. So they're here. They're here for you. Mike, you also have Chapel 2 in the zip code 93523.
Yes, sir.
And current staffing of chaplains and denominations, and then religious airmen, how many?
We have 4 active duty uniformed chaplains. We have a rabbi, and we have 3 Protestant chaplains. One's a Presbyterian, one's Anglican, and one's kind of non-denominational. And then we have a full-time Catholic priest. So we do have Christian, Protestant, Catholic worship services on Sunday. We have a Muslim lay leader who works in maintenance, but he does do a Muslim service on Friday. We have a Buddhist lay leader who's just restarting her service. And then we have currently, we're quite short-handed. We only have 1 full-time assigned religious affairs airman. He's a staff sergeant. He's awesome. He's brand new in the career field. He's awesome. My superintendent's retiring at the end of the month, and we're getting a new one, thank God, in February. And we're short an airman, but I'm sure that who isn't short an airman in this,
right. And
world,
then Mike is also, we're blessed to have an awesome wing-level individual mobilization augmentee in the form of Colonel Manning and the team that supports him. But one of the places that we get huge help from the reserve component is in the chaplain corps here. So we have a Catholic priest, lieutenant reservist, that shows up here occasionally.
He's a captain now, actually.
He's now a captain.
Yes,
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yes.
5 IMA chaplains.
Yep. And so awesome. we have a lot more there. And then Civil Air Patrol chaplains are often here supporting us as well. And so it's good teaming, good example of cross-service and partnering to make sure that we care for everybody here.
I have a great team.
All right, Mike. Thanks for the words outside. Thanks for being here. You're a great leadoff hitter. We'll call that, what do you think, a double? Yeah. Call it a solid double. All right. Bounce off the wall, okay. and you held fast.
I'm not fast, so
the coach held you at second base.
Slow,
all right.
so.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Happy New Year.
You too.
Glad you made it. All right, folks. Like I said, helping agencies here. most of the folks are in the building, but not everybody. And so as they rotate through here, what they are, their name of their organization isn't necessarily important, but most importantly, we're trying to give you a flavor of what is available for you here and also available to whom. And so joining us now on, I guess, set, because it's your building, right, Vanessa?
It is.
We have she's transitioning to civilian life just great,
Yes.
Vanessa Brown. So that's your name, but where are you, what do you do, and a little bit about that organization.
So I am the violence prevention integrator. So what I do is not more clinical. You're going to hear from my brothers and sisters in the helping agency speak after me, but I am kind of the lady behind the scenes. So I collect the data and the information that the helping agencies collect specifically to their services. And then I put those puzzle pieces together to provide leadership with the big picture of what services, programs we need here at Edwards to help keeping everybody thriving and, of course, have readiness at the forefront. So that is what I do now.
Awesome. I'm glad you're here. And for those of you that don't know, we were lucky to snag her literally as she retired less than 6 months ago. Has it been that long already?
Yes, sir.
That's crazy. And so if she looks and sounds like someone that you remember as a first sergeant, that is the same person.
Yes.
And I don't know if she's hardened or softened, but I guess you'll have to find out by
I
coming to
haven't
say
changed.
hi. Good. There you go. All right. Vanessa, I'm glad you're here. I know there's a big lineup today, and
Yes, sir.
we want to get through them. But again, bottom line here is if you don't know who to talk to or where to go, show up in the building and ask anyone.
Yes.
My half a dozen trips in the building, you've met me at the door at least 4 of the 6 times.
Yes, sir.
So it more than likely might be Vanessa.
I'll always guide you where you got to go.
Awesome. Happy
All right.
New Year. Good to
Thank
see you.
Happy
Congrats
New
on the
Year.
day.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
All right, Chief. I don't know how you've been in here a couple times with me now as well. I'm kind of jealous about the status of the building. I mean,
It is awesome.
It almost has new car smell, but there's a lot of capability in here.
Yes, sir.
We were in this room actually, 3 weeks ago with Lieutenant General Schaefer when he was out here, and this was kind of his vision that we have one place, and then we're able to pull off the funding and the modifications as we move along.
Right.
So. All right. Evan's here.
Hello,
Lieutenant Colonel
sir.
Evan
Chief.
Epstein. All right.
Hi, sir.
So I'll introduce him as as my staff judge advocate, and you're going to go lawyers or helpers.
Yes, sir. Lawyers are absolutely helpers.
I agree. By the way,
Yes, sir.
that's my tee up for you.
Absolutely. One of our primary missions in the legal office is legal assistance, and that's a helping agency activity. We have a staff of 7 attorneys down in the trailers behind Building 1. We're not in this building directly, but our flyers will be in here so that people can find out how to get legal assistance and legal aid to any problems they may have and they may be facing. Legal issues, whether that be divorce or problems with your landlord or anything going on in your life, if there's something that one of our JAGs can help with, we have someone that you can meet with and meet in a confidential manner and hopefully work out that problem and remove that stress from your life. So it is confidential. You can come into our office, make an appointment, and we'll have an attorney sit down with you and assist that airman with that problem, sir.
Sounds great. So
Yes, sir.
a lot of people think about, hey, if I need to talk to an attorney, then I must be under an investigation or something, and that is the Area Defense Council, and that is expressly not what Colonel Epstein's talking about. That's a different function, different chain of command. These are actually folks that, if you haven't been to one, and they're available for all active duty, all dependents, retirees, and I would argue space available even for civilian airmen.
It can be in certain circumstances.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
absolutely.
So-
Not all the attorneys that work with and for Colonel Epstein are California licensed, but we get some good expertise in the local area. And I'll tell you one thing that I have used your office specifically for was when I get a nice little letter when my wife and I get a nice little letter from the California Franchise Tax Board. And so she is PCS now, but that lieutenant was extremely helpful. In fact, the interaction with her was so long that she pinned on captain while we were still engaged with that, but super helpful. Chief, I'm sure you've been to legal assistance more than once.
Yes, sir.
In your 20-something years, and I've got multiple versions of a will and powers of attorney, and you name it. Always been super great, and I've used it my whole career. Make sure that you all know what's available. If you walk in here and go, I'm here to see the lawyer, they'll be able to direct you. It's actually not a far walk, and they're going to be in building 2800, which is across the street from the Wing Headquarters building after they move out of the temporary facilities behind Building 1, which is so much more than a trailer. I mean, that's a really nice temp facility, even though it still is on wheels.
As far as trailers go, sir, it's very nice.
It is. Yeah. So, all right, Evan.
All right.
Happy
Thank y'all
New
very
Year.
much.
Glad
Happy
you're
New
here.
Year.
Good to see you, sir.
All right, Chief. Anything else that you've used legal assistance for along the way that you went, hey, I never realized, but
So far, it's been powers of attorney and wills, and then just questions about landlord things like that. But,
absolutely. Yeah. One of the questions that I asked along the way that was a legal assistance question was residency. You know, that is a very complex and convoluted thing, and if you don't get residency right, they always ask you the residency for what. But you know, residency for tax purposes is different than residency for voting, which is different for where's your driver's license and where your car's registered.
Right.
And they can help you navigate those. And like I said, they're each licensed in one state, but they are pretty breadth. Their breadth is pretty impressive, and I found that to be super helpful.
Sure.
Okay, Chief, I'm going to let you introduce this dude that just joined us. I've never
it?
met him before in my life.
Who's this person? I think that's Mr. Daly. From
JD, happy Friday.
Oh,
Friday, yes, definitely.
DIAO. Say that fast.
DIO.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So the first question you're going to get, JD, is what is DEIAO? Just the acronym.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion and accessibility is DIO office. Right.
Yes, sir.
And we're just figuring out how to try to add the U to get the whole vowel set in there, right?
DIOU.
Yeah.
Right, and U for everybody.
There you go. I like it. There you go.
Right.
We added it right there.
So what is it that you say you do here?
All right, so we do a number of things here, right? Equal opportunity, of course, and most people know what that is, right? We deal with complaints. But I like to say we deal with, besides complaints, human relations issues is what we deal with in the DEIAO office. And so we have an inclusion program manager, and that individual deals with everything that is short of equal opportunity issues, right? He's just plain human relations issues. This individual helps solve those issues and also does a lot of the training that we actually do. And some of the classes, including unconscious bias and other classes that we actually teach.
Nice.
We have the AEPM, Affirmative Employment Program Manager, deals with everything that deals with advancement of employment opportunities. So if there's any barriers to advancement, awards, hiring, that individual deals with those.
Nice.
The Disability Program Manager, that deals with mostly reasonable accommodations, but they could also deal with things that have to do with ADA or ADA compliance. And then we also have the EO specialist under that, and then we also have EO in the director is included in that, and also myself as the EIA chief. So I'm over the entire office.
Yeah, so one of the things that Mr. Daly's team has, and again, Mr. Daly's team, the DEIO, kind of like the helping agencies larger, it doesn't really matter who you meet or who you contact. If that's not their line of effort or their lane or their expertise, they'll do a warm handoff to the right person that is. And one of the capabilities that, and Mr. Daly's already hit it, but one of the capabilities that is huge within your bullpen, and it's specifically you, but there's a couple other folks that are, I'll say, getting their reps in to get their certification, is alternate dispute resolution, ADR. That type of mediated resolution is super, super effective and very, very valuable. And often, that is the root or the solution to a lot of these larger issues. So you catch them early, or even if you don't catch them early, you can potentially resolve them rather quickly. And it can be an informal or it can be a formal discussion or whatever you like, whatever you need. It has to be voluntary, but it's a super great capability, JD, and I find it to be very valuable, and I'm glad you're there and I'm glad you've done it. You've helped a lot of people that work with me and work for me.
Yes, and I will also say that a lot of people suffer in silence is what I say, right? And there's an avenue for individuals to actually come to our office and help resolve issues, and we've been pretty successful at that. So I would tell individuals, don't suffer in silence, come to our office, and we can help you meet the needs of dealing with the conflict that you're dealing with in the workplace, and we'll help you get you to the right person if we can't help you.
Yeah, and I'll give one more branch of yours a plug here real fast. For those of you that, now he talked about barrier analysis, but barriers, but barrier analysis working groups, BOGs, we have installation level BOGs, iBOGs, and then they're up the chain as well. But your program manager that does that can connect people if they have something that they want to, hey, I think there's an issue here that, great example, the Women's Initiatives team, I can't remember what the I stands for, initiatives or issues. Somebody's going to correct me online. But it's the WIT. And it was that team at the Department of the Air Force level barrier analysis group that said, hey, what are the barriers to women being in uniform in our service? What are the barriers to women being in civil service to the department? And there's a lot of things that they highlighted, which we are literally benefactors of, because that team gathered a group of volunteers. What are the barriers, and then what are the potential resolutions? Simple things like, gosh, you can wear your hair in a ponytail, right? And that has a medical relief on your scalp, and other items like that. Mothers that are still feeding their kids, that's another big issue that the WIT took on. But it isn't just the WIT. There are other groups in the bogs, and so if there's an issue that you are passionate about, whether you're in that demography or not, talk to JD and one of his teammates, and we'd love to have you contribute. Identifying that barrier that it is, and then potentially looking for solutions is super helpful. So that's a huge capability that we bring in as we stood up, as we took EO when we grew it to be the larger DEIAO. So, JD, I'm excited for you. Yes. And this place is super neat. Much better than your previous digs.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. I love where I'm at.
Good. We love that you're out there. All right, JD. Happy Friday.
All
Happy
right.
New Year again.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
All right. So, folks, we'll rotate out now, Mr. Daly for the next one. And Chief, I got to say, I'm excited about the new time slot, because you're not just going to see us in the green room at, well, you don't know it's green because we always put a picture behind us. You're not just going to see us in the green room broadcasting from the PA studios most weeks. This is now a really good time slot for us to do things like a ribbon cutting ceremony or other examples. Like, so what are you excited about in this time slot going forward?
So I'm looking forward to having the opportunity to do all calls with everybody in the wing, and talk about the things that we work with or work doing on a day-to-day basis in terms of the quality of life and leading people aspects. So
yeah. So this time slot is not just the town hall broadcast at 1500 Pacific time every duty day Friday, but we're also going to drop things on here like Chief just talked about. We're trying to find which Fridays going forward for our next all call. First one that we have literally had in my command at the wing level. That will physically be, if you want to attend it, at the base theater, but it will also be broadcast for those of you that can't make it or missed it and want to watch it recorded. We'll take questions. We'll have a couple topics to push, and we can have a few of those going forward. Other things that I think will fold nicely in this time slot will be promotion celebrations, and then maybe some other bigger events like that to include
wing annual awards.
Award ceremonies, another great example. Okay, we transition out from Miss Carolyn. Miss Carolyn Graves, welcome. We're glad you're here. Happy Friday.
And the same to you. Good
Yes.
afternoon.
So a lot of people know. So I think the acronym that is your program and maybe even your title are starting to become, people know what the word is, but they may not know what the acronym is. So for example, if I say to everybody, I'll say in the Western world, but certainly America, radar, they know what that is, but they can't tell me what it stands for anymore. I actually think, and this is a good thing for your program, for your lane, that people understand what it means when I say SAPR and when I say SARC. Okay. Just as a reminder, can you give us what those both are, and then tell us a little about what you are in this building?
Okay. Carolyn Graves, and I am your SARC, which is actually the person that runs the program, Sexual Assault Response Coordinator. SAPR is actually the name of the program, which is Sexual Assault Prevention and Response. I answer to either one, so you can call me the SARC lady or the SAPR lady. Either one, you will get a response. As far as what we do, we are the official point for filing restricted and unrestricted reports. We offer advocacy and to make sure that all those needs of the victim are met at that particular point in time. So we're there as long as you need us. We also offer advocacy for sexual harassment, which is pretty new to us, but it falls within the advocacy role of being there as that additional support person. So we are not the formal complaint process, but we are there to make sure those emotional needs are met.
Yeah. So two quick questions for you, John. Super easy, I promise.
Okay.
So somebody walks up to the building and they go, I just want to talk to the SAPR lady, and it could be you or Ebony or any of the other folks as well, right? How do they know which door to go through?
Our door is clearly marked with SAPR on it. You follow those teal footprints. Anything that's teal is the SAPR program.
Teal in this building,
It goes to us. But really, no matter which door you walk through, you'll get services. And they will actually escort you to our building. We actually have windows to the outside now, so if you're standing outside and not sure where to go, we will actually come to the door and make sure that you get to the right office.
Yeah, one of the neat ways about how we design the building or redesign the building is that most of the services here, like SAPR, that we expect I'll say the folks that are approaching you. I don't want to necessarily say client or patient, but that person, there's an individual door that doesn't even go through the common areas of the building.
Correct.
It's even that protected. And the way that if you just want to go to the door for Carolyn or Ebony or their team, it's teal and there's footprints. So no matter where you park, get to the footprints, walk on the footprints, and you'll end up at the right door.
That's correct.
So,
And I'd also like to say that I don't want people to think that you have to come and file a report to come to the SAPR office. We're always available for you to come and talk to us, and really we're a confidential resource too. So if you just want to come and maybe you're just having a bad day or whatever, SAPR's here to listen.
they have some awesome places to just hang out.
We do.
They really do. Great folks that work there as well. One question that we often get is, and you're going to care for anyone that walks through the door, I know that, and I would do the same. Officially, SAPR's available to
SAPR is available to all military, dependents over the age of 18, all DOD civilians.
Yeah, and so that last expansion there for dependents and DoD civilians, that's significant.
Yes, it is.
And a lot, I don't know that that is promulgated through all of our, all the knowledge yet. A lot of civilians don't yet know or aren't yet aware that they're available. But it's been that way for more than a year now.
Yes, it's been that way for a couple of years.
Quite a big update. So,
Yeah.
all right. Anything else you want to leave us with, other than your team's pretty cool?
I'd say we're pretty cool, and I'd say our new offices are a definite upgrade from where we came from.
So that is true too.
So please do stop by, because SAPR has a serious upgrade.
Yeah, and I'll post up that here in a second, but it was actually Carolyn's office that was one of the reasons that we decided that for the facilities and the services that are available in this building, it needs to not be co-located with something else. Your last location was co-located with another one of the wing staff agencies, the safety office, in the building, sharing parking lots with other high traffic areas on a high traffic road.
Correct.
And that's just not as, I'll say, as private or as secluded as I think someone that desperately may need your help needs. And that's why that was a great reason why we pushed us to this individual building. I can take no credit for that. It was my predecessor's predecessor and you that did this and hatched this idea, but congratulations. And they're winning the decoration escalation game. What do you think?
I agree with that. And an extra shout out or kudos to you and your team, ma'am. I'm told that at Newcomers, you guys do a heck of a SAPR brief, and it's entertaining, and you make it where you can remember actually the material, and it's fun. So.
That's our whole goal, is to engage and not make it just be so routine.
Yes.
So hopefully something will stick that we said.
It's happening.
So SAPR's available 24/7, 365. So we're kicking off the new year.
Awesome. All right, Carolyn, thanks.
Thank you.
Happy Friday.
Good to see you.
One of the things that you heard from Carolyn there is 24/7, 365. If it's not duty hours, how do you get to them, or how do you do that? I mean, duty days, duty hours. Somebody's going to be in this building. But if it's outside of that, because crises don't just happen duty hours, duty days. You can go to a variety of sites. You can go to the Edwards website. You can go to the Edwards app. You can go to the Air Force Connect app. If you're at work or on a work machine, you can go to the Helping Agencies icon there. You can go into Google and say Edwards Helping Agencies, and I bet the right icon will pop up. And if that all fails, you can call 911. You can call 988. You can call the command post. You can call BDOC. There's all kinds of places. You can call your first sergeant, your supervisor, your commander. Heck, you can even call chief.
Call me.
Right? And we will get you to the right place. So when we say 24/7, 365, it isn't just SAPR, but there's a lot of these folks that are available in that crisis manner and available round the clock, 365 days a year. Right. Major Henry Price, good to see you.
Afternoon. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Yes. And so, unfortunately, you guys hearing her all right?
Okay, great. Thanks.
Unfortunately, what we don't have in this building from a room perspective is room for your organization yet. And then I think we're going to get you in the expansion of the basement. And then we got to figure out how to divide your forces. But everybody's going, well, what does she do? What does she do? So,
All right.
who are you and what do we do?
All right. So I'm Kristen Henley Price. I'm a clinical psychologist. I function as the director of the psychological health, but in the mental health flight, which is part of the medical group. So we're not located here, but we are located over by the medical group. And we coordinate, so as a director of psychological health, I coordinate with the agencies that are here. So primarily I'm attending the meetings that they have as a consultant. So we're here as a consultative role for the commanders, for the helping agencies, and for patients. So we also provide patient care. So we provide medical treatment and consultation over at our clinic. and we do group therapy, individual therapy, and we coordinate services with off-base agencies too. So also run the ADAP program, so we have that over there. So the mental health flight will consist of substance use services, mental health services, family advocacies in our flight, and we do psychoeducation and outreach. So
ADAP, I know what it is. Chief knows what it
yeah,
is.
ADAP is our substance use service, so it stands for Alcohol, Drug Abuse Prevention and Treatment. It's a program.
I often get them
Yeah.
swapped. But folks, one of the things that's important to know about ADAPT and the other mental health services that a major family crisis organization provides is that you don't have to be in the building to get the services. But if you walk in the building and need those services, we're doing a quick technical swap out here.
And we're linked in with the shirts. We're linked in with all the agencies here, so you don't have to walk with us. Yep.
So if somebody walks in here and says, I need to talk to mental health, and they're wearing a uniform like this, what are you guys postured to do?
Anyone here knows how to directly reach me or any one of our team, and they can consult with us, or sometimes they'll directly escort them over to our clinic if they need that. We take walk-ins 7:30 to 16:30. We always have a provider available, and like you said, 24/7. We have an on-call, and we work with the command post and shirts and everyone else. So we are available if there's anything that people need, and we will link to national resources too. So 988. You know, that's a new thing that came out in 2022. So that's the national helpline, and wherever people need, we will link them. So if they come into us, we will still link them over here to the helping agencies, and if they feel like they need us, helping agencies reach over to the medical group as well.
Yeah, I guess my foot stomp with that question is that if this is the closest place you can get somebody that's in the escort part of the Ask Care escort for an ideation, get them here. Right, and then don't leave them alone, and know that there are people in this building that I would say are trained first responders, if you will, that can then get the right folks here to pick up the triage from there. Yep. And I can't say it enough, 988. If you are having any concerns or just need to talk to somebody about that, or you're with someone that's having an issue, 988 from any phone.
And with the population that might not want to talk, or they don't feel like they can talk, 988 also has chat, where you can chat on the computer. You can text with them too. So if you're not in the position where you feel like you can call in and talk, they'll even text you. They'll do a text chat with you. They'll chat with you on the computer. Whatever you're comfortable with, just reach out for help. So,
yeah, I guess, but they're not yet on TikTok.
I don't think
yeah. But we're making great strides there. So. All right.
Absolutely. Well,
great to see you. Thanks. Have a great weekend.
Good to see you.
Okay. I'm being told my mic is working just fine still. Awesome. We got a few agencies to go through here. I'm going to dart out just before 4 o'clock. But if we don't get through everybody, Chief is going to close the loop out. But folks, I hope you're seeing the theme here. It kind of doesn't matter what your need is. If your need is you and your need is human, this is the right place to go to. And the first person you talk to won't hand you off to a name or a phone number or a building or an address. They're actually going to do warm handoffs. And everybody in here is someone that's just cool to talk to and hang out with. So with that as the tee up, introduce yourself, your program, and where are you?
Yes, I'm Arlene Johnson. Arlene Johnson, licensed clinical social worker, family advocacy intervention specialist. And our program, our mission is to, of course, build and foster a healthy Air Force community. And so by doing that, we provide prevention, we intervene and treat family maltreatment, intimate partner violence, and problematic sexualized behaviors in child and youth. And the services that we offer for active duty members, FAST, family advocacy strength-based therapy, and it's short term, but want to get the services before you reach a crisis. And we also have the new parent support program. So for active duty members and their families where they have children under the age of 3, or if they're expecting, they may qualify to have a nurse come to do home visits and provide additional support. And also we offer classes, which the classes are open and available to anyone who has access to the base. And so it's anger management, stress management, parenting classes, as well as classes to strengthen relationships. And of course, I always tell individuals when they come in, you know, if they need to do a consultation, we might not be the helping agency for them to go to. And so we would do a warm handoff to different helping agencies located on the base to make sure that they have the best fit and to meet their family needs.
Yeah. So if someone knows they need family advocacy, they don't go to this building. They go up the hill to the medical clinic, right?
Correct.
And you're co-located with mental health.
Absolutely. So we go up to the main clinic. We're located currently in the temporary buildings to the right-hand side, and yeah, we have all ADAP, mental health, and family advocacy available.
Awesome. And again, if you don't go up there direct because you're not sure, anyone in this building can help you out, and we'll connect you with family advocacy. Chief, anything you want to ask or pile on there? I think it's a great program, very unique to DoD, that we have those services available specifically for domestic violence.
I would agree with that, and I think she pretty much covered and laid out what all's available, so thank you all for what you do.
Yeah, and thank you for the care you provided those families. And I love the fact that in most cases, overwhelmingly, it's all proactive, and that's a big, big, big advantage.
Yes, definitely.
So, all right, great. Thanks. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Yes,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right, folks. As you can see, the capabilities that we have here on the installation and inside the support team are tremendous. They're depth, they're deep, they're robust, and the people are just really awesome to hang out with and talk to. And speaking about really awesome and talking to, we have a CECL, another acronym that we need to explain, and the analogy I think is going to eventually die off because it will soon become something like radar. Everybody knows what it is and how awesome it is and what they do, even if they don't know what the acronym stands for. So Rob, over to you.
Hey, sir. How you doing, ma'am? How you doing? So I am Rob Kessler. I'm a civilian employee support liaison. So what my job is I'm here to advise leaders at all levels on health, morale, welfare, and quality of life issues affecting civilian employees. Additionally, on top of that, we are here to add another layer for civilians to have somebody to come talk to, and then we take their situations and provide them referral resources on the installation and off the installation. And that's pretty much what we do. There's myself. I work in the MXG, and there's Miss Whitney Sparks, and she works in TENG.
Yeah. So, folks, one of the things that Rob and Whitney, they have places where they work. They have offices, right? But if you're in one of those organizations and you don't want to walk to Rob's office, get a hold of Rob or get a hold of someone in this building, and he'll meet you anywhere. Right?
Yes, sir.
In this building, and Whitney will do the same thing.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. We although we have our places where we sit, we're available to all the civilian employees in the wing.
Yeah, and they work, and this is where I got to be very careful that I don't step over the line, but they work very closely with military first sergeants. So it's not an identical relationship, but if you think about what first sergeants do, absent the discipline part, right? So that's not anywhere close to your lane.
Correct, sir.
But everything else that you would lean on a shirt for, or that you would need advice or seek counsel of a shirt for, whether you're the commander, the supervisor, or the line employee, right? Those are the jobs and the roles at a roll-up that Whitney and Rob provide for everyone in the civilian organization, or the organization that has civilians.
Absolutely, sir. That's correct.
Yeah, so civilian employees, but supervisors can be active duty or civilian, commander, director, right? Just a huge resource for everyone in there. And so they work, you'll see them with the first sergeants, but they're not first sergeants, but there's a good relationship there. And oh, by the way, if you're a civilian and the first person you see is someone with a diamond, guess what? The diamonds can get you in contact with Whitney and Rob super fast.
Yep. Absolutely, sir.
All right, Chief, anything else?
No, thanks for what you all do. I'm fortunate that I get to interact with you quite often, as I am closely linked with the first sergeants as well. So, yeah, thanks for what you do, and good to see.
Yep. Yeah, so like I said, the building is leading for AFMC. Rob and Whitney are also on the point, on the vanguard for AFMC, and AFMC is absolutely leading the Air Force, the Department of the Air Force, and how we care for civilians. So Rob, that's kind of cool that you and Whitney are like in this two-ship detached mutual support, raging on behalf of civilians and leading the way for the entire Air Force.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I agree.
Happy New Year.
You too, sir.
Good to
Happy
see you.
New
All
Year.
right. Thanks, y'all.
Tell you, there's a couple of, Chief can talk about this a little bit, but there's another flavor of that support at a different base in a different center, and I'm a little bit biased, but I think we have the right mix for our workforce, Theirs may be a little bit better for theirs, but I'm really happy and real pleased that this is working out, and we couldn't have picked a better team.
Agreed.
So, right. I'll tell you what, this will be my last one, and then I'm going to bolt. But a lady that needs no introduction, especially if you are under the age of 18 on this installation. But Candace, why don't you say hi, a little bit about where you are and what you do?
Yes, sir. Happy New Year, sir. Happy New Year,
Happy
ma'am.
New Year.
My name is Candace Lang, and I am your school liaison program manager. And I am the primary point of contact for TK through 12th grade educational issues. I also help our military families with their children's transitions. Our children, as you know, they move right along with their families 4 to 6 times, and with those comes some challenging transitions. I'm also the first line in the chain of command. If families have issues or concerns with enrollment, placement, eligibility, or even graduation. So I would like all of our families to know, if you have any kind of educational concerns regarding those issues or anything else, I provide all kinds of resources, but please contact your SLO. We have programs such as Student to Student to help kids transition. It's a leadership program. We also have pilot programs such as our DODEA extended pilot program for students that can take additional courses for college. I have resources on scholarships. I work with a fabulous group. I have a network of people both on base as part of the community action team. And I also have community partnerships outside. I can provide information on school choices such as public schools, private schools, homeschool, charter schools. So you name it, we have quite a few resources and programs for our military families. So.
All things school.
It is. It's
Yes.
everything education, TK through high school.
Yes.
And Candace is our primary, what I would call LNO, which is another acronym, but liaison officer with the Muroc Joint Unified School District. And so she is, I often see her more on the Muroc campus than I do in your office. If you are in need of educational help, support, services from our school liaison officer, office, which is an office of one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you walk into this building and say, I need to talk to the SLO, they'll know how to get a hold of Candace. But your normal office is up the hill in the best zip code of the Air Force.
Yes, sir. Currently located at the youth center, right behind the bowling alley there. And but I'm kind of all over the base. And also off base, we have like about 9 other districts surrounding the Antelope Valley, all the way up to Tehachapi. So we have military students all over the Antelope Valley. So, but I want to thank you, sir, for your strong passion and educational support for STEM and for the education of our students. So I network a lot with our STEM coordinator. I'm part of the East Kern STEM Network, where we all get together all throughout the Antelope Valley and talk about all the different events and things that are going on STEM related. So I do appreciate your support and your passion for STEM education.
My number one priority is what happens inside the classrooms, the public school classrooms on this base. That is quite literally my number one priority. It's been that way for almost 3 years now. It'll be that way for the balance of my command. And that is a national imperative. The thing that you will almost always hear me foot stomp and talk about is science, technology, engineering, and math. Those are super critical things for our nation going forward, not just in the defense lane, but really for everything. And so thanks for what you do in the STEM. We had a big celebration yesterday.
Yes, sir.
That celebrated the STEM Expo that happened in October. Yes, that was a historical event, and yes, it was precedent setting, but if you are interested in STEM or participating in STEM or tutoring or anything like that, if you have a child that's interested in getting exposed to that, or maybe wants to add some more robustness on to what's happening in the classroom, Candace and the STEM team can hook you up. Ms. Alita Van Hoy is our STEM coordinator.
Yes, sir.
And we also have, that is a part of the, I'll say the 3 shift, we have Starbase here. So if you're a third grader, Starbase is all over for you, and they often have a little availability if you want to get smaller groups or teams in there. Occasionally they'll take the kids known as Ward-Swanigan and not Higer in the STEM place to get the cool things, like science experiments and virtual reality classes and all things like that.
Yes, sir.
Great, Candace.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Happy Friday.
All right. Happy Friday. Thank you, ma'am.
Happy New Year. Good to see you.
All right, folks. I'm going to leave it in Chief's capable hands here in a minute. While I'm transitioning out, we're getting our next guest in. there's a question here that we got about, hey, VAH is going up. Does that mean that May Road has money bursting out of the seams? So, Chief, I'll let you answer that one, and then you can talk to a first sergeant. Happy Friday, everybody.
We'll see you soon, sir. So the rest of the question goes into whether or not there are ways to advocate for housing improvements, to include things like sunshades, neighborhood park repairs, car chargers, outlets in the homes, and carpet replacement. And there is absolutely ways to advocate, and we, in addition to having a housing advocate, we have May Road, who has programs and opportunities to get us improvements to the park areas, any type of improvement for landscaping and those sorts of things, which is one of the reasons why we did the housing survey that recently took place before the end of the year. And so hopefully we got enough participation so that we could get those incentives to get those repairs and those improvements taken care of. So I hope to get some results on how the survey went so that we can let everybody know what we'll be able to do in terms of improvements, but more to follow on that. And so with that being said, I guess I have our next guest here with us. So ma'am, please introduce yourself and tell us what you do. I already know you, but.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I'm Master Sergeant Catherine Lamb. I'm the president of our First Sergeant Council on Base and also the First Sergeant for 412 Maintenance Squadron. And what we do as First Sergeants is our main goal is readiness of our personnel, but how we do that is making sure our members are spiritually, mentally, and physically ready to do the mission. A big part of that job is to make sure that our Big A airmen, so that's everyone, and their families receive the support and resources that they need. And how we do that is using a lot of the people that you've had on today and will continue to have on.
Absolutely, ma'am. So you already know how I feel about the First Sergeant role, and a lot of your duties, your roles and responsibilities heavily and closely align with what I do as a command chief. And so I'm definitely leaning on you all often to make sure that I'm aware of all the things that our families and our members are presenting so that we can take care of their needs. And so just want to do a public shout out and a thanks to the team for what you all do every day. So yeah, that. And is there anything else that you'd like to share? Is there anything upcoming that the First Sergeants are doing or putting on with kickoff of the new year?
So usually we get a little bit of a break when we come in after the holidays, but first quarter we should be having another dorm dinner. A big thing with that is we've actually talked to Civ Mill and they've wanted to come in and join us. So that's one of the new initiatives is to get them in to bring in some more resources for the airmen, some more maybe prizes to win in the dorm dinner. So that's probably our next big thing that we're going to be doing this year.
Awesome. Well, you all ended the year with a bang, as you always do, from the golf tournament all the way out through the end of the year with all the stuff that you do in regards, or excuse me, including Angel Tree and some other things where you're providing gifts for families and making sure that folks have a good holiday season. So I know that, yeah, you probably need a break. so good on you for doing that. But yeah, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, ma'am. We couldn't do a lot of those things without the support of the community here at Edwards, whether that's off base and on base. So all of you who helped us out through the holidays, we seriously appreciate it. And I know our airmen and families do.
Very good. Thank you so much, ma'am. Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Thank you, ma'am. Happy New Year.
Thanks. All right, we'll be bringing out our next guest. As we wait for our next guest to come in, is there any questions that anyone might want to bring up before we get started? Well, guess we don't have to do that.
Oh, I'm
Hi.
sorry. Hi.
Glad you're here. Thank you for joining us today. I'm doing very well, and I'll let you introduce yourself and kind of talk about your program if you don't mind.
Sounds good. Hi, I am Dr. Kathleen McVeigh. I am the Employee Assistance Field Consultant here at the base, and what I am is I'm available to all civil employees here on the base, all the civilian employees, and we are here 24/7. Our program's available for anybody who's a civilian employee. I have a phone number. It's 866-580-9078. That is a 24-hour phone number, 7 days a week, and anybody who needs counseling or they just want to talk to somebody, they can call that number.
Okay.
They can also reach out if they need help finding childcare or elder care, or they need someone, if they need to talk to somebody about alcohol and drug abuse, we offer programs for that as well.
Great. Well, thank you. That's a lot going on with in terms of what you all provide. So thank you for what you do. Is there anything else that you'd like to pass on as we kick off the new year?
Just that if anybody's having any problems, and that means work-related, whether it's in the home, everybody in the home is available for these services.
Sure.
It's not just the civilian employee, it's the wife, it's the children, it's anybody who is in the home. So these services are available to anybody, and I recommend that you just give them a call. We're available, and we're here to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I know who you are, but I'll let you introduce yourself and talk about what you do.
Okay. I am Summer Moon. I am representing the Key Spouse program. I am one of the many Key Spouse mentors here on base. And the Key Spouse program is awesome because we get to support the spouses and the families, the dependents of our duty members, and we get to help check on their welfare. We get to make sure that their needs are met, both temporally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. We can be a place to vent, a place to talk to. We can direct them to any of these helping agencies. If they're not sure where to go, if they just need a friend, we know, being a military spouse can be hard sometimes. And so this program is there to help our families so that we can support the mission as well. It is a commander's program. It is available to all families, whether you're a first-term airman or, up the ranks to the highest officer families. So it's not for any specific population, but it's an amazing program that has helped me and my family, and in turn, I've been able to help others as well.
I would agree with that. I've seen the fruits of the labor for the Key Spouse program, and I know that they're heavily involved in all things that happen often on base, and so in terms of families. And so one of the highlights every year is when we do our spouse appreciation. I had the opportunity to attend that last time, and then also last year we did a Key Spouse Linking Leadership event where we had all the Key Spouses and the military members come together and just kind of mingle and do like a meet and greet for all the spouses that hadn't met each other. So that was a big deal. And actually, I just spoke with Ms. Higer about getting that kicked off for the first quarter of the year coming up. So I'm looking forward to that event going off again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be good.
It will be awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and letting us know a little bit about the program. And Happy New Year and good to see you.
Thank you. You too.
Awesome.
See ya.
Who do we have next, I wonder? It looks like Miss Natalie. Hi, ma'am. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing pretty good. So I have with me Miss Natalie. She's going to talk to you about what she does here for the base.
Yes, so I am a community readiness specialist at the MFRC, the Military Readiness Center.
Military Family. Yes,
Readiness Center.
Yes,
we used to be the airmen, but now we're military because we have our sister program, the Guardians, with us.
Yes, ma'am.
So our name changed, so we're really excited about that. We are not stationed in this building. We are in building 5620, located up by Club Muroc, and we are able to assist you with financial issues, financial classes. We also have employment classes. We also handle the transition assistance program for all folks that are separating and or retiring. It's a congressionally mandated program that you must take. We also assist the Key Spouse program with all their training that they're required to do. We also have the support coordinator for EFMP in our facility. as well as our casualty representatives that help folks when unfortunately a casualty on the active duty side happens, as well as with the survivor benefits program. They help not only when you go to retire, but with the benefit part when the member passes away. We help with the widows, even into retirement. We also help with readiness, pre and post deployment, and with that we assist the families while the member is deployed with our Hearts Apart program, a monthly get together, so that folks know that they're not alone. We're here to help you the best way we can. We also like to offer classes. We do 4 lenses. We can do, I have a class that I like to teach on generations and communicating, because as we all know, with all the different generations, we all kind of talk differently.
That's true.
And we also have 2 master resiliency trainers in our facility, and we both are love giving resiliency training. We're both firm believers in it and love giving the classes. So we are always busy and ready to go and help wherever we're needed.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
I definitely have had the opportunity to partake in some of that.
Yep.
Especially the Hearts Apart. I think that's a phenomenal thing to make sure that our deployed family members have a place and a time to connect on a monthly basis while their service member is deployed. So
yeah.
But yeah,
out here.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And the classes, like you all have a lot of classes. So where can people go to find out more information about
these classes? All you need to do is contact us at 277-0723, and we can get you to the program manager and sign you up for what we're offering. And if we're not offering it, we can look into offering it. I know next week we have our bundles for babies for everyone who's getting ready to have a new one come along. And in May, we're going to host HeartLink, which is for all new spouses in the military. It's a great class. We also refer to it as 101 into the military, because when you marry in, you marry into a whole new world. And so this class we teach you how to read an LES. We teach you about the different languages, because we have our own language, and it's great fun.
That's cool.
Great fun class.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming out to share with us. Yeah, absolutely. Good to see you.
You too, and you have a great one. And Happy New Year.
Same to you, ma'am. So as we're transitioning out, Ms. Natalie brought up a good point about bundles for babies, and it reminded me that we had a recent update to the parental leave, the military parental leave program. So as we have our next person coming in, I'll just make sure to do a plug on the caregiver leave program that was for the primary and secondary member, 42 and 21 days respectively, has now been updated to now allow members that have started that that leave, either the 21 or the 42 leave stint, to transition to a parental leave that can be extended up to 12 weeks. And so please make sure that you get with your leadership about the details if you're in that boat and would like more information, or if you're not already aware of how that works. You may be able to extend up to 12 weeks for parental leave. And with that being said, it looks like we have our next guest here with us.
Hello, hello.
Hi, ma'am. Can you tell us who you are and what it is you do?
Yes, my name is Lauren Rolandhagen. I am the Civilian Health Promotion Services Coordinator here on the base.
Okay.
Other folks know us as CHIPS, though, just to shorten it up for you.
Yeah, I love it. CHIPS.
Yes. So if you guys don't know who we are, our services are open for DoD civilians. Airmen are it's completely free. All of our services, too. All of our services are open for all DoD. Airmen, our services are open for most of them. We offer 3 wellness screenings here on base for everyone. Okay. So we have a cardiac risk profile, a blood pressure, as well as in-bodies.
Okay.
Now, if you don't know what an in-body is, it's a little machine that you're going to stand on. It's going to go ahead and measure out your weight, your muscle, your total body of water, as well as your basal metabolic rate.
I should probably get another one of those. I used to do those at my previous assignments, and it's probably overdue now. So the InBody's great. If you're looking to do your body composition,
Yes.
fat, bone, and muscle.
Yeah, and right now is the best time to do it. I mean, everyone's starting those New Year's resolutions,
right.
so might as well come on in, see what you're at, and we're here to help you.
Awesome.
Besides InBodies, all of our wellness screenings, we do offer classes here too.
Okay.
We have a variety of classes. We have about 70 classes, and they go from nutrition to chronic illness, as well as work issues, like, not work issues, work related, like how to sit well, make your body a little bit healthier when you're sitting on those desks and everything.
I was just looking at some type of posture brace to invest in, because standing and sitting at a computer all day can sometimes cause you to slump over. So that's pretty cool that you offer that.
Yes, and if you're ever looking for us too, we are next to the fitness center in the FAC building. If you don't know where the FAC's at or anything like that, we are across the street from Panda Express.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today and sharing a little bit about what you all offer. It's good to see you, and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
I think you're my last guest, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I am.
Okay, folks. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Folks, that is our last guest, and that basically puts us over just a little bit over the allotted time slot, but thank you for bearing with us, as we wanted to make sure that each of our helping agency representatives were able to get in and talk about what their program is. And so, again, Happy New Year to everybody. Positive vibes. It's going to be an awesome year. Go ahead and claim that. And we will be sounding off live from the center of the Aerospace Testing Universe.